A battle for Venezuela's El Dorado, North Korea's other weapon, America's richest zip code, and how climate change is changing your diet are among the best stories from our crew this week. Check back throughout the weekend for the latest on the US-led strikes on Syria. In the meantime, Andrew J. Barden breaks down what we know so far and what's still to come. Andrew Rosati writes about how Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's glittering prize to the nation's military control over the country's 70,000 square mile gold district is a source of strife. With National Guardsmen closing in on the nation's gold capital, El Callao, clashes with gang and civilians are intensifying. Trump's art of the deal tactics face ultimate test with ChinaThe. U.S. President's tariff threats fit a pattern of high-stakes bluffs. But as Andrew Mayeda reports, he backed down from bold statements in his first big trade moves to accept modest concessions. Deripaska's fall, from Davos Party King to outcast in 3 days. Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska spent decades pursuing acceptance in the U.S., but that came crashing to an end this week. As Stephanie Baker writes, he was hit with sanctions that wiped out half of the value of his company because he had too high a profile. North Korea's other weapon is poised to explode while the world pushes North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to get rid of his nuclear arsenal. His regime also poses a grave health threat: drug-resistant tuberculosis, the planet's biggest infectious killer. The problem may be about to get worse. India's grip on strategic port loosens as Iran turns to China. A remote Iranian port could be the next trigger for geopolitical tensions between the world's two most populous nations. As Ian Marlowe and Ismail Dilawar write, a Chinese investment in the port of Chabahar could be a strategic loss for India, which is opposed to Beijing's push into the Indian Ocean. Climate change is bringing lots of lobster and Polish chardonnay. Global warming is changing what people put on their plates. As cold regions warm and mild climates bake, farming and fishing practices are changing across the globe. Agnieszka D'Souza and Haley Warren write how conservative activists saved Scott Pruitt's job at the EPATH scandals engulfing Scott Pruitt looked ready to torpedo his stint as the head of the Environmental Protection Agency. But, as Jennifer A. Delawi writes, his zeal in undoing Obama-era environment rules prompted his allies to save his job. To get to America's richest zip code, you need a boat. America's richest zip code, 33,109, is a 216-acre refuge off the coast of Miami with an average income of $2.5 million. As Shelley Hagan and Wei Lu write, it's not just exclusive for its wealth, the only way to get there is by boat. And finally, if Heartbreak Hill, the infamous steep incline 20 miles into the Boston Marathon, isn't enough of a challenge, there's always the 26.2-mile race up the face of Kilimanjaro. Noreen S. Malik takes a look at these and other extreme races ahead of the world's oldest annual marathon on Monday. Runners at the starting line for the 2016 Polar Circle Marathon.